What's up, people? Alright, so in this video I'm going to address the recent dramas or whichever that is happening with all the content creators, streamers, whatever. How do I feel about them, and then my reactions and my take to it, right? Okay, so first up, I'm just gonna give a quick breakdown just in case some of you don't even know what is happening, right? Firstly, the streamers and content creators are complaining that the game is shit right now, right? It is in a very bad state. GG screwed up the league big time, and the fix op patches were not helping a lot, or I would say it wasn't even really helping. Okay, like there was a lot of chances for them to fix it, but most of them just decided to call it quits. All right, they are not going to deal with the bullshit that GG is actually trying to fix things up or patch things up. This is actually already the 5th patch, and it is still not good enough. It's not even anywhere near decent for them. Okay, and then the next one is the Arch Nemesis mods are way too strong again. So for those of you that play last league, it totally feels like last league in the early game, the first week, all over again. Alright, the rare monsters are very strong, with multiple Arch Nemesis mods stacking, and Essence just feels like fighting Uber bosses. I would say it's actually worse than fighting Uber bosses for some of them. Right, and the third one is the Lake of Calandra mechanic is actually quite cool. Okay, it's actually quite cool, it's very good, but the drops are crap. Okay, the drops are literally shit holes. They are not rewarding enough for the amount of time invested and consumed. So especially those with league mechanics, I think you have probably heard this from others. It is really very bad. So let's say if I want to do Breach or Legion, alright, or Metamorph, their drops are like normal white map drops. Okay, so I mean, from a casual player perspective, yes, I will not even touch these league mechanics, because if I can do them at normal mapping with improved rewards from the LS skill tree, why would I want to do this Lake of Calandra with the league mechanics that are like literally on white map? Doesn't make sense, okay? So I think the only good one is actually Expedition, and you have to hit the Black Scythe and the Sun, but what are the chances of you always encountering them? And then you have to invest a lot of time to try to rearrange the tiles. I mean, that is actually okay, you get to play around with the mechanics, but it's just not rewarding enough. Okay, the fourth one is the Harvest rework has mixed feelings. So some of them like the changes, some of them don't like the changes. I personally like the changes because I don't have to interact with TFT so much. This is PoE, this is not TFT gaming. Okay, if you guys don't know what is TFT, it's basically a Discord group chat. Okay, just a quick one. It's basically just a Discord group chat where you have a lot of people selling stuff, trading stuff, selling service and whatsoever. So previously, Harvest, all the services or buying of benchcrafts were over there, and now they have changed it to using a certain amount of life force to craft them. Okay, next is the cost of crafting them is ridiculously high. It is so high that it doesn't make sense. Some of them can even go up to like what, 10 divine orbs or something. Yeah, it was quite insane. And the amount of life force given from the harvest monsters itself is too low to justify for the cost to craft some of them. Like, if I want to craft a fracture item, probably I don't know how many times of harvest do I need to do, maybe 1000 or more. Yeah, it was ridiculous. They have reduced the cost, but then again, I feel it is still very high. Okay, I mean, let's leave it to GG for them to decide which is more applicable or makes more logical sense. Okay, and the last one is the amount of players dropping has already decreased by more than 50% just on day 5. Okay, I would say actually it is already way past more than that. Players are saying like regardless of the patch, they are not returning back to the league anymore. It is too shit to continue. Even if they did do a very decent patch or they did revert back, the economy is already in a very bad state, right? Let's just say it like there is a lot of people that's jobless now. Okay, so the market is where this is currently is standing and is not looking good. Even though some players might return, this is not going to help the economy. It is already in a very bad state and prices are ridiculously high for a lot of items. Okay, when you want to find specific items for your builds, let's just say maybe a good chevron wrapping, okay, a decent chevron wrapping, you are not going to find them cheap anymore. So maybe a Hyro one last time you can probably find for 60 70C, I think so, around there, or maybe the most 80C. Now you can't even find it at this price. Probably it costs 2 divine orbs or something. In the past, maybe let's just call it 2 exalts, right? So it is really this big of a price difference with the changes to divine or exalt orb, and I don't think this is going to change anytime soon. Alright, next is what do I feel about the recent dramas. Okay, this is my own opinion, my own take as a casual player. I wouldn't consider myself a veteran player anywhere near those very big content creators or streamers. Alright, they have played so many hours a day for so many months, so many years. I am nowhere compared to near them. Okay, so the first one is the current state of PoE good or okay? I forget to include one more, or bad. Alright, so it's either good, okay, or bad. The answer is no, it is actually very, very bad. Probably the worst out of all the entire past league. If you just look at the market, like I mentioned, the items are so ridiculously expensive. Let me just give you one example, alright? Let's just say Tabula Rasa, the most common item that everybody uses on day 1, day 2, day 3, basically your bread and butter for every single character, first character, okay? This item used to be 20C, alright, maybe the max 24C or something on day 1, okay, on day 1, and people are willing to spend or do the chaos recipe to get this item first. But this league, it started out at 30C. Alright, that is like 33% higher than usual, about 33%, alright, average, and it actually did not went down, it went even higher. Alright, so there was a lot of demand for it, but the supply was very low. That's why the item keep increasing in price until about day 3 or day 4, when a lot of people are actually moving on to low budget or mid budget, or they have gotten cards that give 6 link, then the price start dropping a lot, right? And next is the PoE influencers are influencing the whole community that is like trying to say this is the most terrible league, influencing others to quit the league because they themselves are quitting, right? So, you give others the impression that it's so bad, maybe I should stop playing as well. Maybe I should just take a break, see what I can improve, play other games or do other things. Alright, since it's already so bad, I can foresee like my progression is not going to help either. Okay, and the next is my own standpoint. Okay, so I want to be very crystal clear. This is my own standpoint as a casual player, and it is very simple. Just slowly enjoy the game, right? Like, yes, GG might screw up some of the stuff here and there, but things are always changing. More when, like, let's say towards casual playing, I just felt it's fine. Like, it actually gives you more knowledge or insight on playing the game more. So regardless whether the change is good or bad, I feel that one should adapt to it, unless the changes are too ridiculous until it feels like a totally different game, right? It's not like you are not able to progress your stuff. It is not like your character has zero progression, or you cannot play or enjoy the game, or like even maybe white or blue monsters are going to slap you one time and you're just gonna die. It's not in that current state now, right? Last league was even worse. That was actually what happened on the first first week. I think it was the first week where the monsters are really too strong in the X, and we are just dying like up, down, left, right, everywhere. Even on Act 1, where this, what are those things that those monsters that charge on you and you get one shot immediately in Act 1, right? That monsters are too crazy, and those are white monsters. Like, yes, if that situation is going to be applied for every map, then that's a different scenario already. Probably I will also tell you to just stop playing and take a break. But no, that is not the case. The case is just a lot of the reworks are not going as well as intended, and some players just felt that they are not having the same experience. Okay, so yeah, I actually wrote here for you. So for example, not every single red Archnemesis monster is going to one-shot you. Only a certain few when they stack up, like let's say a 4 mod Archnemesis modifier. So I will feel that because of all this is where you actually learn what more defensive layers you might need, or you learn how to dodge them, learn what the monsters actually do, how is their attack patterns and stuff like that. Instead of thinking so negatively like, hey, last league this monster only maybe, I don't know, hit me 1000 life, but now it's hitting me like 10,000. So because of that, I'm not going to play a game. I think there should be a different point of view on how you see it. I think just ultimately just think more positively, right? Okay, and the next is, for me, what can I say about the other content creators that are saying the game is very bad and they are quitting? Okay, I got to be very firm. This is not criticizing them or anything. This is just what I felt. Okay, they need to do what is needed to be done. They are veterans. They have played the game for very long, so they need to voice out to GG on what they feel is right and wrong. Okay, it is their job. It is their role. Otherwise, they won't be popular content creators, right? Like, let's just say example for Zuzaran. He mentioned that it is really very bad. It is not what was intended, and he is not really having a really good time. Right, like let's say Steelmage has been complaining on the crafts. He's not able to progress very smoothly. A lot of the crafts has been removed, and it's very hard to earn up the right amount of currency for them to progress their character. On hardcore or soft solo self-found, whichever, is just not going well for any of them. Okay, so my point is, you should have your own stand to decide on whether this is good or bad. Okay, not them. They are just doing their job to relay the message. But as a casual player, right? Okay, I wouldn't say as a casual player. I say as a PoE player, you should just try to put yourself in the standpoint where you want to play casually or not. Like, we are not like Empyrean, where we just call 5 other friends or 6 other friends and play the game and farm like a super juice up map in the first week, right? And then just call it quits. This is what they have been doing every single league. And I wouldn't say they are spoiling the game, but I just felt that it was extremely unfair for other players. So they are the ones they are one of the few that are actually controlling the market or the economy. They are the ones that always get their hands or first hands on all this expensive stuff, and then it starts to bring down slowly as days pass by, right? So just try to imagine what happened one day if you were them. Okay, like, this is really very fun. You feel at the top of the hill. You are always the best seller out there, but the people below are like suffering. So I think this is what GG is trying to do. They're trying to make everyone as equal as possible, but probably the step was way too far this time round. So yeah, we really don't know what they are trying to think. Okay, so just take this as a reference. Hear, listen, eat some popcorn. You need to remember that they are players that have super good knowledge on how PoE works and how PoE has evolved through the years. They don't play casually like us. They are so engrossed in all of the end game stuffs, Whereas for casual players like us, right, we take our time to chill and farm. Like just one day of not playing is fine. It's not the end of the world. It's not like if I want to buy my chevrons wrapping today, it costs 30C, and tomorrow it's going to cost 30 exalt. No. It's not that way. There's nothing like this, alright? The economy was somehow stabilized and stuff like that. And the only important day I would say to feel is just on day one if you really want to rush your way up to low budget. Otherwise, the rest of the days is just going to feel the same as any others. It doesn't matter if you take 1 month to farm your character, 1 week to farm your character. In the end, it's just the time frame on what you are going to expect and your goal towards achieving your end game character, right? It doesn't matter. It's not like this point of your character is not going to do well, or is going to hinder your progression, or is bad and it cannot keep up with others. There's no such thing. Just take it at your own pace, right? And the last one is, do I agree with them on their review videos? So a lot of them have actually done the review videos on the changes and stuff like that. Before I carry on, just want to show you a quick one. So stuff like ever since I cannot find the patch for the 3.19B and B before that, I'll just ignore it, and this is the one that actually starts all the drama, right? So 3.19C was the Arch Nemesis and Rare Monster changes. Basically, they just lower the how strong they are. Alright, Lake of Kalandra, they are increasing the amount of rewards and the choices that you can get from mirror tablets on raid maps. And then they are increasing the life force on Harvest Encounter, but in lower tier maps. Okay, so this is 3.19C, and everybody got frustrated with this because it doesn't fix anything at all. Like, what the hell? Why do I need example like for life Harvest? Sorry, why the hell why I need life force on lower tier maps? I'm not gonna farm lower tier maps. Eventually, everybody is gonna farm raid tier maps. All right, if you want to focus more on those mid game farming. So this is literally a very useless change, right? Nothing is gonna help. It's not like I'm gonna farm Harvest through my Atlas progression, right? So this is number one. This is the patch notes, and then the patch note 3.19D came in. Okay, that is where people start to say they have actually nerfed the item drops, stuff like that, and we are not getting as much drop as possible. We are not getting the same amount of drop like Empyrean say. When they farm 6-man juice up, each of their profit was like what, 10C? That was really ridiculous. Okay, that was really way off the board. Even I felt that at least maybe one okay, I wouldn't say 1x, maybe 5 or 10x per map is still quite decent, I guess, but in chaos is ridiculous. Alright, so yes, 3.19 was like patches in item drop changes. They increased the unit and currency rates globally. So one of the content creators mentioned that this is still shit, and I agree with him, because let's just say if they have nerfed the drop rate from, let's say, 100% to 5%, okay, increasing this by 25% would mean that this is going to increase by 1% only generally, correct? So okay, let's just say 10%, sorry. So 100% drop to 10%, and then they are going to patch in 3.19D that the drop rate is going to increase by 25% of the base amount. So 25% or 10% is literally another, on average, 2%. That's like the global drop rate of the currency is gonna be like 12%. It is still shit. It is still bad, right? There was no significant improvements in it that we saw, and it was still bad generally. And the number of players from here start to roll down very badly. Okay, Arch Nemesis changes, basically just making them less stronger again. And then Harvest changes, like yes, the feedback was the monsters were too strong, and there was no way to deal with them, and people just keep dying, right? So they reduce, making them less stronger. And that's what that was all to it in 3.19. Then again, this is not fixing the problem. This is the fourth patch already, right? And then E came in just recently, right? This is the most recent one. They changed the Lake of Kalandra, increasing the quantity of splinters found in breach hands. What else is there? I remember there was some improvement to stuff. So basically, I think just TLDR, they improved the drops of league mechanics, but these improvements are still not enough to justify the league mechanics that we do on normal maps and in the Lake of Kalandra. Right, like let's just say for example Expedition, okay? Here, increase the quantity of artifacts dropped by monsters in Expedition reflections at all difficulty. Now, this one I have yet to try, but I think it is, in general, Expedition is just probably the best one inside. Okay, then let's just say for this, increase the quantity of currency shards from Harbingers in Harbinger reflection at all difficulties. Who the hell is going to do Harbinger in your Lake of Kalandra? There is nothing good that comes out of it now. Are you going to get an Exort? Even if you get an Exort, I think you will be very disappointed because Exort are kind of worthless now, right? And then Ancient Orc, they are going for like 3 to 4C. It's also quite pathetic. And then the next we have increase the quantity of splinters found from Legion encounters in Legion reflections. When you do normal maps with Legion Atlas skill points, you are going to get the whole emblem instead of splinters, right? And then you're going to focus on the more expensive ones, Marrakech or the, what was the green, I cannot remember the green color emblem, that name, right? So these two are like the expensive ones, and maybe splinters, you probably collect them if you have like maybe 4 or 5. Those very cheap emblems, you're not even going to touch the splinters at 1 or 2 piece on the ground. Correct. So what is the purpose of this? I have actually done the most recent with these changes. I have done a Legion, and I only got like what 5, 6, 7 splinters from the monsters or the chests, and that is still quite pathetic. All right, it is very pathetic because, like I say, in maps you can get the whole emblem. Why would you want to take the splinters here? Right, the chance of getting emblem in the maps are way better than trying to get more quantity of splinters down here. Okay, so this is just one example, and then they changed the harvest crafts. So basically it costs cheaper now, but some of the crafts are still ridiculously expensive, and some of the changes to me doesn't make sense. Alright, to me it doesn't make sense, like this one. When I saw it, I was like, what the hell? Change a stack of timeless splinter or timeless emblem into a splinter or an emblem of another type. Now it costs 4. 4, previously 20. So for those of you that do not know, right, 65 life force equals to 1C. Alright, so I can change a total of 15 times that costs 1C from a timeless emblem into another one. So which means any of the cheaper versions of a timeless emblem, I can try to change it into Marrakech, which is the most expensive, at the cost of 1C, 15 times. Dude, I think everybody's going to be doing that. I mean, if you have the emblems, right? If not otherwise, I think the Marrakech emblem market is going to crash. I haven't checked the most recent economy for this. I didn't have much time, so yeah. And then we have Breach. We all know that Chayula Breach is the most expensive. Correct? So you can change any Breach or Splinters or Breach Stone to another type at a cost of 4. This is the same one. Okay, so this is the same one. At about 15C at about 1C you can change 15 times. You are definitely going to hit Chayula, right, for 15 times, unless there is hidden rule that says that Chayula is going to, the chance of changing it is much lesser. Otherwise, everybody's going to spam this. It doesn't make sense. Alright, 4 is ridiculous. Okay, and that was all. That was all to this patch. This is the latest one. This is the 5th patch. Still, it is not helping. Alright, I did Essence in my most recent map, and I encountered 4 mod Arch Nemesis with 7 essence. I have been standing there contemplating if I should release them or just pretend I didn't see them, because when I am going to release them, I am 100% sure I am going to die. Like, for sure, definitely. Before I even touch them, I am probably already being deleted from it. So it's all these things that change the point of view of players. Okay, and then the most recent one was they are nerfing defensive Arch Nemesis modifiers. I just think this is not enough. Like, yes, there is a lot of changes, okay? There is really a lot of changes. I'm not going to read it every single one of the Arch Nemesis. Okay, maybe not every single one. Is this every single one? Okay, I'm not sure. There's a lot here, but they changed a lot of it. And I will say this is not enough because Arch Nemesis by itself is the one that is too strong. Okay, and then to wrap things up, back to the question, do I agree with them on their review videos? Yes and no. Okay, the game is not the same anymore as it used to be. That is what I can tell you. It has changed. You should adapt. You should change as well. But I'm not telling you to quit. It used to be a very fast game. Okay, but GG is trying to slow down the pace, and I just felt that they have their reasons. So I'm not the one to decide or judge on their decision. Like, who knows, it may be because they want more players to play longer, right? Players are always quitting the league after 1 month or so, and maybe this is their strategy to, you know, keep the players, so that they are trying to make the players play longer. Right, I just felt that so many players at this point in time are not trying to stand in the position of the developers or the employees of GG. Like, yes, I am not siding them as well, but I am not siding all the other content creators also. We are not seeing the bigger picture of what they have in store for us, but we are just consistently complaining. Right, I don't think that is a very positive mindset. But, you know, oh well, just nobody is right and wrong here. Always keep a positive attitude, guys. Alright, so guys, what is my next step after hearing all of this crazy stuffs? I have 4 points. So 1, I'm going to continue to play my BV until high budget. Even though items are pricey, I might take this time to actually craft the items on my own from scratch. That way I can understand whether from the baseline, from the bottom, whether is it good or how much is it to actually craft the item, whether is it really worth it or not. Okay. Second, I will just continue to post more farming strategies. I have thought of some of them. Okay, they are really very interesting ones, thanks to a few friends from the Discord group. Like, I will just give a small hint. All right, one of them is actually to farm essence in low tier maps. Okay, so this is a very interesting one, and you are going to forgo Eater of Worlds, but just concentrate on essence and those simple touch and go stuffs. Okay, and the third point is the most I will only play 1 more build this league. Right, due to time constraints and the economy is hurting a lot of builds, it is not a good time to refine any of the current builds, I would say. And I really just wish GG can revert back the economy for Divine Ops and Exalt Ops. Like, give me back my 6 link vendor recipes. I think this is really hurting a lot of builds. Okay, and the fourth is, as I will be away for 2 weeks in the month of September and October, I will say the timing is actually pretty good for me to take a short break, you know, wait for more news and maybe play a few other games in the meantime, or I might just go MIA for a while. Alright, so nonetheless, I think most of you should still, like I say, just continue to stay positive and enjoy the game. Otherwise, just take a short break. It's not the end of the world. Okay, that comes to the end of this video. So if you have any questions, do join the Discord and I will try to answer your questions. And if you like my video, do remember to hit the like and subscribe button. I will see you in the next one. Bye!